Welcome to the Nevis newscast for Wednesday, July 8th, 2020. I'm Fredicia Liebert. The opening session of the St. Kitts and Nevis National Assembly took place on Wednesday, July 8th. It came 1 month since the June 5th election, which saw the return of the Team Unity Coalition to serve as the Federation's government. The sitting commenced with prayers, followed by the re-election of the Honorable Michael Perkins as Speaker of the Assembly.
I thank you, honorable gentlemen and ladies, for reposing further confidence in me to continue in this position for another term. I congratulate the newly elected members of this National Assembly. We now have a new member for number 2 in the Honorable Jonelle Powell. Constituency number 3, my former Deputy Speaker, Akila Byron Nisbet. And I congratulate member for number 10, Eric Evelyn. And my friend and colleague, Honorable Alexis Jeffers.
The sitting also saw the election of Deputy Speaker Dr. Bernicia Nisbet. This was followed by the administration of the Oath of Allegiance to the other members of Parliament. Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, the member for St. Christopher 7, Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Sean Richards, the member for St. Christopher 5, the Honorable Mark Brantley, the member for constituency of Nevis 9, the Honorable Eugene Hamilton, the member for the constituency of St. Christopher 8, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, the member for the constituency of Nevis 11, the Honorable Lindsay Grant, the member for the constituency of St. Christopher 4, the Honorable Akila Byron Nisbet, the member for the constituency of St. Christopher 3, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, the member for the constituency of Nevis 10, the Honorable Jonelle Powell, the member for the constituency of St. Christopher 2, Senator the Honorable Wendy Phipps, nominated member, and Senator the Honorable Vincent Byron, nominated member. The new National Assembly will be comprised of 12 members on the government benches, 9 elected members, and 3 nominated senators, and 3 members on the opposition benches, 2 elected members, and 1 nominated senator. One of the highlights of the opening session of the St. Kitts and Nevis National Assembly on Wednesday, July 8th, was the throne speech delivered by Governor-General His Excellency Sir Tapley Seaton.
It is imperative for all to know and to understand that the government had not and will not deviate from its intended plan for national development, where the gains are shared by all, regardless of color, creed, gender, ethnicity, race, political opinion, or socio-economic status.
The Governor-General outlined the programs which the government intends to deliver in the next 5 years. The plan takes the form of 6 pledges.
First pledge, continuing to build out a diversified and resilient economy. The second pledge, providing more opportunities to improve the quality of life of our people. The third pledge, protecting our people and our borders. Fourth pledge, enhancing public services and infrastructure. Fifth pledge, pursuing a greener, more sustainable future. Sixth pledge, maintaining our commitment to a good governance agenda at every level. Throughout the 5 years of this administration, more will be unveiled in this Honorable House as to the legislative calendar which my government will put forward. Our government is fully committed to these measures. We look forward to robust debate in this House. We anticipate meaningful consultation and the building of consensus when necessary as we pass laws and regulations to improve our country. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I pray for God's continued providence, protection, and blessing upon our federation and our people. I beseech him for wisdom in everything that is done in this house on behalf of the people of St. Christopher and Nevis.
The Governor General assured that the COVID-19 pandemic will not stop the development of St. Kitts and Nevis, given the government's commitment to resilience and adaptability. Minister of Works, the Honorable Spencer Brand, says the Nevis Island administration is doing all it can to meet the demand for road construction projects around the island. He made the disclosure at the July 2nd sitting of the Nevis Island Assembly.
I am fully aware that there have been great demands as it regards to the construction of various roads throughout the length and breadth of Nevis. And while I will not say to the general public that yes, I will get to them next week or next month, we will try and do our very best, Mr. President, with the limited resources that we have. And due to COVID, once again, even the limited resources, Mr. President, have become even much more limited. And I would hope, Mr. President, that our people would have a sense of appreciation and understanding of the difficulty that we are facing at this time.
Meantime, Minister Brandt gave updates on ongoing road construction projects.
I would turn very quickly to our Public Works Department, and they are presently engaged with two major projects, the Quaddock Road project and the Brown Hill Rehabilitation project. And Mr. President, our schedule at this time to have both of those projects completed by the end of July. And we expect, Mr. President, that we will be able to meet those stipulated target schedule timeline, Mr. President. I want to use this opportunity to say to the people of both Brown Hill and Quaddock Road, I want to thank them, Mr. President, for bearing with us. I know that the traffic flow in those areas have been disrupted and there have been some inconvenience, dust and noise. And I just want to say to those persons in those areas how thankful we are for their patience and their understanding while we undertook, Mr. President, those two projects.
Minister of Works, the Honorable Spencer Brandt. Experts at Colorado State University's CSU Tropical Meteorology Project have updated their seasonal outlook for the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season to include even more storms than before. The new forecast boosts the expected number of total named storms to 20, up from 16 and 19. According to the update issued on Tuesday, the tropical meteorology experts with CSU expect that the 2020 Atlantic season will have activity above the 1981 to 2010 average. Tropical storms Arthur, Bertha, Cristobal, Dolly, and Edward have already formed in the Atlantic as of July 6th. Based on additional analysis, the CSU experts estimate that 2020 will have an additional 9 hurricanes, 15 named storms, 75 named storm days, 40 hurricane days, 4 major hurricanes, and 9 major hurricane days. The 2020 Atlantic hurricane season continues through November 30th. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Ministry of Education on Nevis has embarked on virtual and online learning for students of both primary and secondary schools. Principal Education Officer Zanella Claxton noted, however, that there were some challenges.
We had a few challenges with the Charlestown Secondary School, which included, of course, the size, the student population, in addition to some other challenges. And we were unable to get the students signed on in time for the end of term 3. However, we know that the Microsoft Teams process is not one that is just simply a COVID-19 response. And we also know that COVID-19 is not going to disappear in the new school year. And so we thought that it was important to, of course, update parents, especially parents of the Charlestown Secondary School, and to alert you that the login credentials for the students has been made available for the students to sign into Microsoft Teams.
Claxton is encouraging students to sign into Microsoft Teams commencing Thursday, July 9th, 2020. Form 1 students should log on at 9:30 a.m., Form 2 students at 10:30 a.m., Form 3 students at 11:30 a.m., and Form 4 students at 1:30 p.m. The Principal Education Officer also outlined the login information and password for students' access.
When you get to Microsoft Teams, whether you use the app or the browser, you will then sign on using you'll be then asked to give your username. Students and parents, listen carefully. The student usernames are their first name dot last name at moestudents.edu.kn. For example, if I were a student and I had to sign in using my student credentials, I would type zanella.claxton@moestudents.edu.kn as my username, and I would type I study at 123 as my password.
Students are encouraged to download the Microsoft Teams app on their devices or use the browser page. Students are also encouraged to log on to help.classroom.com to gain access to the help desk for all other inquiries. An orientation video of the sign-in process will also be aired on Nevis Television, the Department of Education's Facebook page, as well as the Charlestown Secondary School's Facebook page. Meantime, the Ministry of Education is advising stakeholders of a number of updates. The 2019-2020 school year will end on Friday, July 10th, and summer vacation will begin thereafter. Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate (CSEC) and Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examinations (CAPE) will begin on Monday, July 13th, 2020. Candidates must arrive on site at least 1 hour prior to the start of the exams to go through the COVID-19 safety protocols. The 2020-2021 academic year is proposed to commence on September 7th, 2020. Term 1 of the new school year will end December 11th, 2020. The Ministry of Education will take a phased approach to the physical reopening of learning institutions. The annual summer training for teachers will be delivered virtually during the month of August 2020. A phased approach to the reopening of early childhood centers will take place on a case-by-case basis. Early childhood supervisors should contact the Early Childhood Development Unit in St. Kitts at 466-2810 or in Nevis at 469-4651 for the guidance of the application process for the review of facilities. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Fredicia Liburd. Thank you for viewing.